I'm so ready. I'm ready.
Let's win money.
Love that, baby.
Sound the alarms. Sound them.
We got the Utah Utes going into Mullet Man time.
I don't care about anything else but the Ravens win this week.
Welcome back, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another episode of Morning Wood. We are your hosts. This is a sports show hosted by two idiots. We are those two idiots. I'm Matthew, and I'm joined with my good friend Jason. I think he's on my left. Last week he was on my right. I don't know. But let's get into it. Let's talk a little football, as always. Let's start with top of the morning news. Tua is placed on IR by the Dolphins after suffering yet his third concussion on Thursday night. We all know about it. There is no notable timetable. The team hasn't really said anything on that. The only thing as of right now is they just want him to focus on his health before coming back to the field and playing football. That was according to head coach Mike McDaniels. But with the news on Tua, the Dolphins do sign Tyler Huntley, the quarterback, off of the Ravens practice squad on Monday to fill in that spot that they need. So that's some news from Miami. Other news, Colts placed D lineman DeForest Buckner on IR following the loss to Panthers. I think it's believed to be a high ankle sprain, or the Packers, sorry. And it's believed to be a high ankle sprain. He will miss at least 4 weeks. The injuries, man, they're plaguing the league right now. Not looking good around the league. Everybody needs to stay healthy. We hate seeing that.
IR is an all-pro team right now.
The IR is literally an all-pro first team. Like, it's insane. There's some huge names, notable names on that. It's not looking good, but hope for speedy recoveries for everybody, and sick of seeing all the injuries. So hopefully that kind of slows down. But the Chiefs are signing former running back Kareem Hunt. He visited the team yesterday. They are looking to replace the injured Isaiah Pacheco, which I think he's missing 6 weeks.
At least.
Yeah, at least 6. Weeks. Yeah. So they're signing Kareem Hunt, who we'll see. I mean, obviously, former team. He knows the system. Hopefully, it'll be a seamless fit. And then finally, my Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin announces that we are going to start Justin Fields on Sunday against the Chargers. And he says, this is from Tomlin, we will stay in that mindset until something happens. And I know we kind of briefly talked about this, but it was in our over-under reactions. But I'm guessing we're going to stick with him until we lose. And I don't disagree. I don't agree with it. I don't know. I would rather Russ be in there, but looks like we're sticking with Fields. You know, he is 2-0. We haven't lost, so I guess there is no reason to not start him. But that's news around the NFL in the last couple of days from our last episode. Jay, we'll throw it to you for the best segment.
Antonio Brown. Tweet of the day. He's actually spitting facts today.
Roll it.
Antonio Brown.
Who on social media, man? This is about us. Nobody else, man.
We got Imagine LJBB, Lamar Jackson, Bill Belichick. The Photoshop swap, I would say jersey swap, but it's his it's the classic
hoodie.
Bill Belichick hoodie as the Ravens head coach.
Holy!
Looking at that, it gets me a little tingling sensation.
It's actually a clean photo.
It is a clean fit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that ends up. But
that would be awesome for you guys.
Electric. I would be excited for that.
I think everybody besides maybe the Chiefs.
I don't know if Belichick's coming back into the NFL after experiencing an off season like he is, but maybe he just loves ball so much that he'll come back. I don't know.
Maybe. You guys might need that. You know.
I mean, he actually knows how to manage a game in the fourth quarter, so we actually might need him.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the one game that we didn't get to cover in our last episode. Monday Night Football.
A little recap.
Was an electric one. Kirko Chains is all the way back for the Atlanta Falcons. Gets the win down the field in a minute. Gets his first win as an Atlanta Falcon. Obviously, that game is summarized by the last 2 minutes. The Eagles needed that first down to pretty much – actually, I think they would have ended the game. They probably wouldn't even kick the field goal. They decided to throw the ball on third down. Good play design. Saquon was wide open in the flats. Shouldn't have had that popcorn. Drops the football. They kick a field goal. The rest is history. Don't give the ball to Kirko Chains with a minute left down 6 points. because it's bad things are going to happen. Huge win for the Falcons on the road. Feels like a win that could really change the trajectory of a season. You're 1-1 instead of 0-2, and a tough road loss turns into a good road win. How are you feeling about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Falcons?
Piggybacking off of what you said, the third down call from Philly, I know a lot of people have been talking about that. I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter and social media, people agreeing, people disagreeing. I actually like the call. It was a great play call. I know Atlanta had no timeouts, so maybe running the ball there instead of putting it in the air, you run off another 40 seconds. They still would get the ball back, but definitely not with, the same amount of time. Yeah. And it maybe forces them to play call a little bit differently. But I do like the call because you're going for basically the end of the game there. They don't even really need to kick a field goal. I think they can run out the clock from there out. But I don't mind the call. Great call, wide open. Saquon, you got to come up with that catch. He's a great, receiving back, so I don't mind them calling his number to win the game there. But regardless of the drop, the defense, Philly, even though, yes, you do give the ball back to the Falcons, but your defense, they got to come out and win the game there. Sometimes, sometimes your offense has to win it. Sometimes your defense has to win it. And unfortunately for Philly, their defense was called on, and they didn't answer the call. Atlanta, they came down, they did their thing. I'm not going to take anything away from them. But it shouldn't just be whoever has the ball last is going to win the game. But the defense itself, I want to talk about that a little bit. Some weird play calling. They were in almost prevent to start this drive. Their safeties are 20 yards off the ball, what it looked like. And I get they want to take away the big play, but they still got to drive down the field. It wasn't like there was 10 seconds left in the game. I didn't really like Philly's play calling at all. It left a ton of open space for Kirk and that offense to find the gaps in the zone. I mean, literally every pass, besides I think one, was pretty much not really contested at all. And what led to that was no pressure either on Kirk. Not just blitzing, but the D-line. There was nobody near Kirk Cousins during this drive at all. It literally looked like 7-on-7 walkthrough for the offense. There was nothing that he had. He had a good drive, but there was nothing he didn't have to make tight window throws. It was just sideline throws or over the middle. Everyone's wide open. There's no pressure. And then the last play of the game, what is Darius Slay doing? I don't know. It's just an out route. He gets caught halfway through that play looking in the backfield, and man-to-man coverage is what it looks like. And he's just got eyes in the backfield and just completely gets cooked on the last play of the game. That was a horrible...
Just to say, Philly actually had a chance to come back, picking it back off that. They had 2 timeouts with 30 seconds left, and Jalen Hurts throws a pick.
Yeah, that's the game. Yeah, that's true. I mean, again, it was just a bad series from Philly, but that was easily one of the worst defensive last drives I've seen. I know they got the ball back, but just as a defense, in a while.
No, I mean, they should have stopped them, but like you were saying, the Falcons played good defense. Well, I mean, the 2 plays that they played, they picked Jalen Hurts off. When we saw Kirk Cousins throwing 20 yards down the field, their wide receivers were wide open. They were playing so soft.
Yeah.
And then when Jalen Hurts throws, it was 15 yards down the field, I think, on the left side of the field.
It's tight coverage.
There were tight coverage, 2 guys on him, and they intercept the ball.
Yeah. So. And I literally watching that, I've watched that drive back a couple times, but the defensive line, I know you can maybe even send pressure in these situations, but just the defensive line there was no, it was perfect pocket, no collapsing, no pressure. He didn't have to get the ball out quickly. Again, I'm not taking anything away from the Falcons. Like you said, that's a huge road win. Instead of going 0-2, they're 1-1. That's a big win. They needed that. But Philly just I don't know. That was horribly executed in the last couple of drives there. But especially from the defense, that's bad. And they got good players. I didn't like that, but yeah, big win for the Falcons.
Let's move on to our week 2 game picks recap from last week. Let me pull that up real quick.
Yes, sir.
So we both go 8-8 on the week.
Very even.
Keeping our records the same as far as win-loss.
Yeah. I think most of these games were just the favorites not winning. It was a very wonky weekend. Just to point out some of the games, like we've talked about, San Francisco losing at Minnesota, the Jags taking the L at home, the New Orleans Saints going into Dallas and just routing them, the Cardinals looking good. It was a very weird week, but I think still going 8-8 for both of us is still pretty good. It could have been a lot worse,
Not
but
horrible.
any games you need to highlight on this one for our win and loss column for week 2?
No, I think the Jets on the road, I think that's like a bigger win than where like people are talking about. It's a hard place to play in Tennessee, and Aaron Rodgers gets his first win as a Jet.
Yeah, it was a close game too. Love back and forth.
Touchdown. Like I think they won by a touchdown.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Ravens are horrible. The Chargers get it done. They actually are like the one team that really like put it on. The Panthers are bad, but they did what they were supposed to do. It's still an NFL team at the end of the day. But no, I mean, weird. I wouldn't say weird week 1, or week 2, I mean, but a lot of favorites going down at home.
Yeah. Well, we're going into this upcoming week. I'm 21-11. Jay is 15-17. So we'll see how next week pans out. Let's get into our week 3 power rankings. We kind of forgot to do this last week, so there is a lot of movement for my list. Looking back at week 1 or our preseason power rankings, but just to get into it, we're going to have both my new top 10 and my old top 10 and Jay's new top 10 and his old top 10 as well. So you can kind of see the movement there. Nothing changed from my first spot or his. We both have Kansas City. This is where it gets a little bit movement. I have
also
the refs, Taylor Swift and Kansas City.
Kansas City and the refs still at the top of the league. Hard to lose when you got that. When you got Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and the refs on your side, that's crazy.
My 2 spot, I actually have San Francisco bouncing out of that. I have Buffalo. Buffalo looking good the first 2 weeks, in my opinion. I have them in the 2 spot. You got Houston.
I put Houston up there.
Yeah.
Not a great win against the Bears, but the Bears have a solid defense. They get a good win. They're 2-0, so I'll continue to ride CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I agree. I have them in the 3rd spot. Again, just I like what he's doing as quarterback. I love that coach quarterback combo. They're a fun team to watch. That defense played really well as well against the Bears. But I have them followed up. Or I'm sorry, you have Detroit.
Even though they lose to Tampa Bay, I think that game was Detroit played a better football game. So I'm not going to waver too much on them. I still think they're a top 3 team in the NFL.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Detroit is definitely still up there. I kind of did that with my 4 spot. I have San Francisco falling out of my 2 spot, but I still think is the best roster in football. I know that they're kind of dealing with injuries, but I think that they'll be fine for the time being. So I have San Francisco in my 4 spot.
I also have San Francisco at my 4 spot as well, even though that loss to Sam Darnold, the MVP of the league. You can't beat the MVP of the league.
You can't.
So, I mean, they're going to stay there. That's fine.
Yeah. Moving on to our 5th spots, I have Detroit. Like you said, I don't think they're falling off the face of the earth or anything. I think they'll bounce back this week. I got them in the 5. I got them in the 5. You have my Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo in the 5.
I'm kind of surprised about that.
I mean, I think the 31-10 win against Miami really has a lot to do with Tua playing really horrible and then getting knocked out of the game. Like he threw 2 interceptions, maybe 3 interceptions.
I think he had 2 before that.
And then he gets knocked out of the game. I mean, James Cook looked great, but I need to see a little bit more to put Buffalo in my top 3.
Yeah, that's fair. Moving on, I got the surprise move so far in 2 weeks. I got the New Orleans Saints in the 6th spot.
Okay. I mean, well deserved from
that. I looked at my list and I was like, they got to be in the top 10 somewhere. And then I was kind of going through the bottom, half of the top 10. And as of today, I don't know if there's many teams that would beat New Orleans. Just as of today, they might not pan out like this, but I got them at 6.
Just from what they've done the past 2 weeks, you can't knock them down.
No.
I have Tampa Bay in my 6. Good win on the road against Detroit. Baker Mayfield and the boys. And that defense is pretty solid, so I like Tampa Bay there.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one. I got them followed by Minnesota. So I have New Orleans and then Minnesota, the 2 new 2-0 comers to the list for me. Minnesota, great win. They kind of it really wasn't that close, I think. I know it was, one possession game, but I think Minnesota kind of controlled this game very well against, again, my opinion, the best roster in football. So I got the MVP winner led Minnesota Vikings at the 7.
That's a high for Minnesota.
It is.
I got Green Bay in my 7. I think they got a good win with a backup quarterback, Malik Willis. When Jordan Love comes back, that defense is solid. They're going to be a good team.
Yeah, I agree. I think Green Bay will come back. I had them at 10 preseason. I think they'll jump back. I'm not seeing them as a top 10 team without Love, obviously. When he gets back, I'm sure if they win, they'll jump back in my top 10. But my next team I got is your number 6. I have Tampa Bay at the 8th spot, another newcomer to the top 10 for me. Like you said, big win on the road against Detroit. I think Tampa Bay is going to be a playoff team. I like Baker. I had him, I think, winning the division that they were in at only like 8 wins. They're probably going to 8 or 9 wins. They're probably going to prove me wrong there. They'll probably end up with like 11. But yeah, I got Tampa Bay at 8.
Yeah, I got Philly at number 8. Tough loss at home. If Saquon catches the ball, they're 2-0 and probably in my 5th spot or 6th spot. But they're still a top 10 team. Yeah,
no, I agree. I actually have Philly in my 9 spot next. So I agree with that. Interesting. Philly goes to New Orleans this week, I think. I did either go to New Orleans.
Yeah, they go there.
They go there, yeah. So this is a big game for them, and I have them in the 9, New Orleans in my 6th spot. So head-to-head matchup in the top 10, and we'll see how that kind of pans out. But I do have Philly at 9. I think just defensively, what I saw, I wasn't really like happy, and in the last like the game management and the defensive play calling, like I don't know, I wasn't too thrilled, but still a top 10 team. I mean, they have a great team.
Yeah, speaking of New Orleans, I have them in my 9 spot. Got to give them credit where credit's due. I mean, putting 44 up on the Dallas defense is pretty impressive. So they're a top 10 team right now. Yeah,
no, I agree. And we both actually round out our top 10 with the same team. We got the Chargers, my sleeper team. They do play my Steelers this week, so we'll see. There's quite a few teams I feel like can go in this 10th spot, like the Steelers, the Chargers, maybe even Dallas. I know they kind of just got routed, but I think they could maybe even be a fringe top 10 team in the league right now. So a good amount of options, but we both have the Justin Herbert Chargers in the 10th spot.
The Jim Harbaugh Chargers.
The Jim Harbaugh Chargers. Yeah, both of our top 10s. Again, a lot of movement from the first week we had, but let's move on to our picks.
Let's get into it.
Our picks of the week. We're going to pull the schedule up here. We're going to start with Thursday night football. We got the Patriots going to the Jets. I will be taking the Jets in this one at home. I know they had a battle last week against Tennessee, and I know the Patriots played the Seahawks really well, but I think the Jets get it done at home here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the Jets at home. This is their 11th game, their 3rd game in 11 days, and then they kind of get a mini bye since they're on the Thursday game. But I like the Jets. I think they're like 7.5-point favorites. I think that might be too much against the Patriots, but I do like the Jets to win.
Yeah, no, I agree. Moving on to the Cleveland Browns. They host the New York Doo-Doo Giants. I'm going to make it quick. I got Cleveland winning this. I really don't like the Giants at all.
Well. That defense is going to dominate.
Yeah, I think Daniel Jones is anyway.
Malik Neighbors looked good in his second game. Had like 150 yards. Dropped the pass to win the game, I believe. But yeah.
Moving on. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
We got the Bears going to the 0-2 Colts. I think I like the Colts in this one to get their first win at home. The Bears' offensive line,
dude,
scares me so much.
They were so bad.
And this is almost like a must-win for the Colts as well if they want their season to stay alive. And give me the Colts. They need to win.
Yeah, I literally agree with everything you said because that's what I was going to touch on. Was this is literally a must-win? I feel like I was not high on Indy, but a good young team. Wanted to see some, a little bit of promise there. So a must-needed win, I think. And I think they can get the job done here against a rookie quarterback and not the greatest team in the world. I do have Indy, keeping along with my home winners so far. So I got Indy as well.
Yeah. Moving on, the Texans go to the Vikings. And As much as I want to pick the Vikings again, I'm going to go with C.J. Stroud and the Texans. I think they're just an all-around better team. Justin Jefferson, I don't know his status. It's still up in the air for this week, especially if Justin Jefferson's out. Alexander Madison, I believe, is also banged up. So give me the Texans.
Yeah, we're staying on the agreement train here. I actually have Houston going into Minnesota and winning this. I think Minnesota is on a little bit of a high. I think they kind of fall back down to earth a little bit. And I do like CJ and the Houston Texans going in and winning this game. I think it could be. I think this is a really good matchup. This is a great matchup this weekend. But I like Houston slightly. Moving on, we got we just talked about the Eagles going into the maybe hottest team in the league, the best offense of all time. Derek Carr and the boys. They go to New Orleans. This is a weird, interesting game.
I'm going to go with the Saints at home. I mean, why not?
Okay.
They're gonna start off hot. The Eagles, I mean, their secondary looked suspect, at least in the last drive.
We can't do that.
And the Saints have started off hot. I mean, why not the Saints? The Saints.
That's an interesting pick. It's not, I don't blame you. I actually think Philly wins this, believe it or not. I think this is going to be the closest New Orleans game we've seen so far. They're just blowing people at.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, I think Philly bounces back. I think they get in the film room. I think they, make a good game plan for this offense, and I think they bounce back defensively. Like you talked about, they were looking that secondary looking a little sus. But I think Philly bounces back, and I think they actually go 2-1 here after this weekend.
You want to cover your Steelers?
Not really. Like, this game scares me so much. Yeah. The Chargers, they come in a tad. We're keeping with Justin Fields. I don't know. This is definitely the best offense we've faced so far. Obviously, our key, to our team is the defense. That's our high right now. One of, if not the best defense in the league through 2 weeks. So good matchup here. I in a weird way, I kind of want the Chargers to put up points so I could see what our offense would look like, either coming from behind or needing to move the ball, like with some urgency here, and not kicking field goals all the time. So I would like to see that. And I'm going to take the Steelers here. I don't like it, though, at all. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose this game, but I just want to see what our offense could be. Like, there's so much potential. I just want to see what it would look like.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Yeah.
I just think both teams, I don't think are going to be able to run the football very well on each other. And then I'm going to take Justin Herbert in the passing game over Justin Fields. I think the Chargers probably game plan to make Justin Fields beat them. So that's why I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, not a bad pick. I mean, that's kind of a toss-up, really.
Yeah.
But next game, we got the Denver Broncos going to the almost MVP frontrunner at the moment, the Baker Mayfield-led Bucks. I got Tampa Bay in this one. Again, rookie quarterbacks. It's tough to win in the league, like we've seen. I got them losing to the playoff Bucks.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. Give me the Bucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we have the Packers go to Tennessee. Not a place you really want to play. I'm kind of up in the air on this one, honestly, but I think I like the Packers on the road. Malik Willis. Give me Josh Jacobs to run wild again. And then Will Levis might do some stupid stuff again, turn the ball over. I don't know, do some crazy stuff. I like the Packers defense. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, Tennessee, they're 0-2, right? They've lost the first two. Yeah, kind of like same division, same situation as Indy. I think this is a must win. And I do think they take advantage of Willis. I think they actually go off of last week's film and the whole notion of, hey, Green Bay is going to probably run the ball. So I think they play for that a little bit here at home. I think the home field advantage, I think it leads into Tennessee's favor. As long as they don't do anything stupid like lateral the ball behind them when they're almost falling on their face, I think they'll be okay. Or pitching an interception, pick six to seal the game. But I have Tennessee in a must-win game on Sunday.
Nice. I like it. Andy Dalton, the starter for the Panthers, goes to Las Vegas, and Gardner Minshew and Max Crosby. How you feeling about this game?
As much as I want to give Carolina like their first win, just so all I see is gloom and doom with this franchise right now. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
I will say I think the Raiders coming off of beating the Ravens on the road, I think they kind of keep that momentum. They're playing the worst team in the league. I do like the Raiders at home. I like the new coach. I like what he's doing. So give me the Raiders, man.
Yeah. I'm on the same side. I like the Raiders. I like Max Crosby. Probably the most underrated just defensive player in the league.
He's a dog.
He is a dog. Give me the Raiders.
Yep. Next game, we got the Tua-less Dolphins going to Seattle. Seattle looking good, 2-0 to start the season, I think, right? Are they 2-0?
Yep.
Yeah, 2-0. Yeah, unfortunately, again, bad situation for the Dolphins last week coming into this week. It's tough, but I'm just going to go with the hot hand. It's a tough place to play, especially for a now new week 3 starting quarterback. I'm going to take Seattle in this one. I like how I'm high on Seattle this year, and I'm going to stay that way.
Yeah, I got to go Seattle as well. I guess Skylar Thompson is the starting quarterback for the Dolphins.
Have they announced it?
I don't think they have.
Yeah.
But regardless, hard spot to come in and win a game on the road against the Seahawks. So give me Seattle.
Yeah, both agree on that one.
The Lions go to the Cardinals. Maybe a matchup that we thought might not be as good when we looked at the schedule, the start of the season.
This might be a game of the week.
It might be. I'm gonna take the Lions. They did play a better game than it looks like on their record last week. The Cardinals they played 2 good games to start the season. Maybe it's time for a stinker from the Cardinals. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I agree. And we both have Detroit still in our top 10. I think them being the team that they are, I think they need to kind of bounce back and get to 2-1 here.
Yeah.
Especially with, just the way that their division's looking. Minnesota's 2-0, Green Bay's 1-1 without Love. They're looking good. So they kind of need to win here to stay in it and stay top of the NFC. So I have the Lions winning. I think this is going to be a really good back and forth battle, though. I think the Cardinals are going to give them a little bit of problems, but I think Detroit wins.
Yep.
Moving on, you want to talk about this one?
I mean, the Ravens is a must-win, or the season's over. We go to the Cowboys. I'm taking the Ravens because I'm a Ravens fan, but I'm nervous about this game. Going to playing the Cowboys at home in the regular season are really good, but hopefully Lamar is 20-1 in his career against the NFC.
Yeah.
So that's the only stat that I really am looking forward to. Hopefully he can get it done on the road.
Yeah.
The Ravens.
I agree. I'm not even a Ravens fan, but like you said, a must win. Again, my AFC North winners this year at 12-6. They got to bounce back here, man. And Dallas did kind of just get blown out. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit more buttoned up after last week, the embarrassing loss like that at home. They're going to probably, come out prepared, come out with high energy. So, Baltimore's going to need to match that. I do like you guys. It's a must win. It really is. For the season, y'all need to win this game. So I got Baltimore as well. Moving on to a little division matchup. We got a little NFC West matchup. We got the San Francisco 49ers going to the Rams after getting blown out last week. How are you feeling about this one? This is another interesting game.
Yeah, both teams got some injuries going on right now. Debo out for the Niners. CMC
this is the IR game.
The Rams, I don't even know who plays for them anymore. Matthew Stafford and then
that wide receiver room is empty right now.
I mean, give me the 49ers just because I think they just smashed the rock down the Rams' throat.
Yeah.
And then, Brandon Ayuk's still there. George Kittle, they still have some weapons. The Rams don't really have anyone.
Yeah.
So give me the 49ers.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Rams, of a defense you want to see after all those injuries to the offense, this is probably the last one on the list. So, give me the San Francisco 49ers. I really don't think the Rams are going to move the ball on Sunday at all with those injuries. So,
yeah. And then we get a primetime matchup in Atlanta. Patrick Mahomes and Kirko Chains taking off Sunday Night Football. I already know you're picking the Chiefs.
I'm picking the Chiefs. They're not. They haven't lost. The Chiefs, the refs, and Taylor Swift.
And the refs have not lost yet.
Who you
Give
going
me
with?
the Falcons.
Oh, my gosh.
Against the refs and Patrick Mahomes. Give me Kirko Chains off a huge win on Monday Night Football.
Oh, my gosh.
Chiefs are coming in on the road. It's going to be tough. The Falcons are going to get up. This is their Super Bowl early in the season. Give me the Falcons to run wild on the Chiefs. Baby.
God, this guy is out of his mind.
Come on.
This guy's out of his mind.
That's
I got
the thing you said when I picked the Skull Vikings, baby. Give
That
me
is-
the Falcons.
That's true. He might have a gut feeling on this one. We'll
Come
see how that one goes. But I do have the Chiefs. Let's talk about, we got a doubleheader Monday Night Football this week. Let's start with I don't want to say disappointing Jags, but the 0-2 Jaguars, kind of a surprise, I guess. Go to my number 2 team in the power rankings, Buffalo. Unfortunately for Jacksonville, I do have them starting 0-3 this year, I guess, because I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. I think this is a must-win-ish for Jacksonville, possibly to stay in the AFC hunt for the playoffs. But I think Buffalo is a good team, and I think they're going to struggle. Their offensive line, really quick to kind of break it down. I watched a breakdown video of that. They are bad. Another offensive line that's not looking great. They didn't really help out Trevor Lawrence last week. I know they did play Cleveland, and that front is pretty problematic. But, man, watching some of the tape on that, they looked really bad, especially their left guard, I think Robinson. Ooh, he might need to get a job in sales or something soon. So I got Buffalo.
Yeah, give me the Bills. I feel like this is almost like a letdown spot for them. Like Jags 0-2, Bills 2-0.
Could be a trap game.
It could be. I'm gonna stay with the Bills. Just if this was in Jacksonville, I might take the Jags. But since it's in Buffalo, give me the Bills.
Yeah, we agree on that one. And you want to touch on your favorite team here?
Yeah, the Commanders go to Cincinnati. The 0-2 Bengals, kind of searching for a win as well. I don't know about this game. I want to pick the Commanders. You know, give me Jaden Daniels and the Commanders to go into Cincinnati and put a beat down on the Bengals and Joe Burrow.
This guy's lost his
Come on,
mind,
baby.
ladies and gentlemen.
Come
Oh
on.
my gosh. I do think this will be a good game. I think this is going to be a little bit more I think it'll be a closer game than I think a lot of Bengals fans are going to think at home looking for their first win. I do have Cincinnati winning this game. I do like what Daniels and the Commanders are doing. I think they're, trending upright for the team, but I do have
Jaden Daniels has 12 less passing yards than Joe Burrow for the in the first 2 games.
I'm still taking the Bengals.
And 150 more yards on the ground.
All right. I'm
Jamar
taking the
Chase is like losing his mind on the sideline. Like every play, he's like complaining about something. Joe Burrow, not good at football.
All right. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. I mean, they might win. You never know. I don't know. Do the Bengals start 0-3? Maybe an over-under reaction for next Tuesday. We'll see. But
Commanders are winning that game.
Those are our week 3 picks. We'll see how those pan out. Let's move on to the matchup of the week, Jason.
Let's move on. Sound the alarms. Sound them. Put the gates up. Raise the drawbridge. Whatever you got to do, because the Ravens could be dead soon. This is a must-win for the Ravens on the road in Dallas, like we said. I don't feel great about it. Like I said, Dallas plays really great at home during the regular season. Not great in the playoffs, but history is on the Ravens side. Lamar is 20-1 in his career against the NFC. The only loss is to Daniel Jones and the Giants, honestly.
It's hard to beat that guy, so.
Yeah, he's a goat. But we need to continue that reign over the NFC. The Saints just exposed the Cowboys' defense on the ground, running for 190. Pound the rock with Derrick Henry, please. He should touch the ball 20 times. What worries me is if we go down early, Lamar's going to have to feel like he needs to play hero ball and make every play, which often leads to either a fumble or an interception. But the Ravens' defense needs to show up against Dak and CD. They put up points at home. I think the key to winning this game is keeping the Cowboys off the field and running the football and holding on to the ball. Michael Parsons is going to be an issue. Max Crosby was a big issue last week. Micah Parsons might be the best defensive player in the league, definitely top 3. The Ravens' offensive line is a clear TJ Watt. But we need to pound the rock. Don't turn the ball over. Quick throws. Don't let Lamar get, if he runs out of the pocket, he's going to scramble. But we got to keep Micah Parsons in check. Defense should get enough stops, hopefully, against Dallas. And we just got to get out of there with a win so I don't go crazy.
Going 0-3 with, I don't even know.
It's chalked.
Yeah. I agree with pretty much every point he made, everybody. This is a must-win for the Ravens. I think, I think they're definitely better than 0-2, obviously. They're definitely a better team. Piggybacking off of what Jay talked about, I do agree with the biggest key is definitely the ground game here. I think the Ravens do need to put the ball on the ground. Believe it or not, I know Micah Parsons is a great player as a pass rusher, but I did watch the tape last week, and the Saints were not only not scared to run at him, but they did willingly. And I think you guys should take advantage of that. I know your guys' offensive line has been a little shaky, but if they watch the tape, you can run at Micah. He's not the best run defender at the edge. So that's definitely something to look forward to. I did watch the tape on Lamar as well. I do want to hit on this a little bit. I know a lot of people are maybe, probably down on Lamar. I know he's always one that everybody's quick to bash and hate on. But watching the tape last week against the Raiders, he did not play bad. He really didn't. There wasn't too many mistakes that he's made. He did have a miss to Mark Andrews on, I think, a third down. It was kind of a big play. He did overthrow him. But other than that, he literally didn't play. I wouldn't say he played bad. I don't think he played great, but he did nothing wrong to lose that game at all. I know Crosby did give him a little bit of fits, but overall, I think, like you said, the NFC, if you're not playing Lamar consistently, it's hard to prepare for him. It really is. I know we play him twice a year, and I know we do play him well, but it's not like, every team is able to just do what we do. We see him twice a year. We kind of know his tendencies, but if you're unfamiliar with Lamar, it's usually a long afternoon, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas deals with that. Again, just extending plays and like you said, if you guys do get down early and you guys maybe can't lean on the run game, I wouldn't be shocked if it is hero ball time, and I think he can get the job done against Dallas. But they did get a little bit exposed, so must-win game. But I do think, like you said, I think the key matchup is the ground game, and I wouldn't be shocked if y'all kind of piggyback off of what New Orleans did and expose Dallas a little bit. You can run at them and minimize the mistakes. I think y'all can get the job done. You guys' defense, I think, can do kind of what New Orleans did and play keep away a little bit and go into Dallas and get a win. It is a must win, but
it is.
Yeah, I like Lamar in this one. I think y'all get the job done. Hopefully.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
I hope so. Let's move on to some college football. Week 4, we got some top 25 matchups, 4 of them this week.
Love that, baby.
To get into. Starting off Friday night, we have Illinois. Number 24, Illinois goes to number 22, Nebraska. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I like the slate this week of our matchups. This week, definitely coming off of a bit of a lull last week, but I'm gonna take the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I've liked them. I picked them against Colorado. They did meet dividends, so give me the Cornhuskers again. I do like this matchup. I think it'll be like a 10, 14 point type of game, but I got the Cornhuskers in this one at home.
Yeah, we're on the same side. Matt Rule and the boys, Patrick Mahomes Jr.
Dude, can't beat Mahomes Jr.
No, you're going to get the dub. I like Nebraska.
Yeah, we agree.
And then we have another top 10 matchup. USC goes to the Big House.
The Big House.
Michigan, number 18, Michigan. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I think I've kind of gone back and forth reading the breakdowns of this game, going back and looking at each of their last matchups last week. I know Texas kind of just blew the brakes off Michigan. Granted, Texas, they might be it's Texas. They're the best team in the country right now. I do like USC. They look good week 1. And I need Michigan to win this game. I need Michigan to win. They're 18th. That's definitely a down from last season. Obviously, I think it's down even more than a lot of people thought. I had them, I think I don't remember where I had them in my playoff prediction, but I had them in there. So for them to get back in the hunt, I need them to win this game. It is another tough matchup. This is now the fourth game they've had at home. They need to give the fans a little bit something to cheer about and make their money's worth it. I have Michigan at home beating USC. It could be a close game. I know they're not going with Warren at quarterback. He's looked terrible. They might as well bring in freaking somebody from the concession stand at this point, but they got to get the job done. I got Michigan.
Yeah, I think I'm going the same way as well after I thought about it. I mean, Michigan are 6-point underdogs in this game.
Crazy.
Which is kind of disrespectful at home against USC. I think their defense shows up and is like the Michigan defense that we're used to in this game. And they squeak out a win against USC. Yeah,
no, I agree. Again, their 2 wins this year at home were by total of 20 points to not great teams. New Mexico State and forget who they played the first week, but they gotta bounce back strong. But moving on to the next game, actually our matchup of the week, which we'll break down a little bit. But we got the Utah Utes going into Mullet Man Tan. Number 12 Utah goes to number 14 Oklahoma State. I think this is going to be a good game, but I got rising in the Utah Utes, baby, on the road. Number 12. I think they stay in the top 12, little playoff hunt. Big 12 matchup. Give me the Utes.
Yeah, we're on the same side through 3. I'm taking the Utah Utes on the road. Give me Cam Rising to get it done against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State was all on upset alert last week against Arkansas. I believe that was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. But yeah, give me Utah to get it done.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So then we go to Tennessee visits Oklahoma. Big matchup.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma. I believe this is where game day is on Saturday. How you feeling about this game?
I kind of went back and forth on this one too. I'm leaning more towards Tennessee, obviously, on the road here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a bit of an upset alert. I did try and call that when they went to North Carolina State, but they blew the brakes off. I'm not making that mistake again. I'm picking Tennessee in this one, but I think this maybe could be a little bit closer than even what Vegas thinks. But give me the Volunteers. I think they stay hot, and I think they stay in the top 7 range right now.
Yeah, I also like the Vols. I think their offense is just too prolific. Yeah. They just put up so many points. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Oklahoma can match what they're about to score on offense. So, yeah, give me the Volunteers.
Yeah, no, another one we agree on. We're 4 for 4 now. I mean, I do need to catch up a little bit here in the overalls, so I'm glad we're on the same page. But last game we're gonna touch on is Baylor goes to my national championship favorites, Colorado Buffaloes, baby. Who do you got in this one? And tell me why it's Baylor.
I think I am on Baylor.
Yes.
I was high on Colorado to start the season, but they haven't showed me anything to back them against Baylor in this one. They can't run the football.
No, they can't.
And they can't rely on Shador and Travis Hunter every single week to score 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Baylor on the road.
I agree. Obviously that's not a surprise to anybody if you've been watching the episodes, but I got the Baylor Bears going into Buffalo down and blowing the doors off.
Blowing the doors off, eh?
I do. I think they're going to struggle. They, like you said, they can't run the ball, and again, God forbid they can't throw for 500 yards every game and have Shador throw 4 touchdowns. Maybe they need to run the ball sometimes. Yeah. They're not going to. I think Baylor wins this one. That's our college football week 4 picks. I'm 9-8 right now. Jay's 11-6. So we're looking to see how that records play out.
This can't change this week. Well, the win and loss can't really change.
No, you can still be in the lead, but it's fine. Matchup of the week.
All in the same game.
We did pick all of them. I'm not surprised. The only one that I think could have been a little bit different was maybe the USC Michigan game.
USC, but
yeah, I almost did too. But let's break down our matchup of the week. Like I said, the Utes, baby, going into Mullen Man Tan. They take on the number 14 Oklahoma State Cowboys. It's a huge Big 12 matchup for possible playoff implications for the Big 12. Two of the 3 top teams, I think. Who's sitting in between these guys? Is it Kansas State? Yeah. So Big game. Both teams coming to the weekend 3-0. The Cowboys are favored by 2.5 at home. What are your overall thoughts on this game? I think this is going to be a little bit of a shootout, fun game to watch.
Yeah, this is could possibly have playoff implications, like you said. This matchup's between two of the oldest quarterbacks in college football. Cam Rising's 25 years old. Alan Bowman is 24.
The senior citizens
the
out
Senior
here.
Bowl. A win for either team could give them an advantage, like I said, to getting into the new 12-team playoff, and a loss on the record to a conference opponent might keep someone out of the playoff. Cam Rising has been playing well. When he's on the field last week, he sat out against Utah State. He had a finger injury. What the heck is that? Play football, a finger injury.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What are we talking about here? But I guess against Utah State, they could afford to sit him down. But in the 6 quarters that he has played, he's thrown for 346 yards and 7 touchdowns. Alan Bowman, the Cowboys quarterback, in 3 games has 967 yards and 8 touchdowns. But the guy that the Cowboys need to get going is Ollie Gordon the second. He only has 216 yards in his first 3 games. He ran for over 1,700 in 14 games last year. They ran the ball on the ground last season all year long. They need to get him going. But the winner of this Big 12 matchup, huge step forward to get into the Big 12 championship game. How do you feel about this matchup?
Yeah, great points made. Again, I think this is going to be a shootout. I think this is going to be probably one of the more fun games to watch this weekend offensively. Looking up the breakdown and stuff of how they looked last week and coming in this week, a lot of people had the same kind of notion of like, what are the key players and matchups? Everybody had Rising and that offense, and then like you said, Gordon on the ground. Those were the big ones. But I'm going to waver a little bit different. I've kind of touched on the trenches all year. I think they've been a key factor, both NFL and college, on the outcome. So my opinion, the key matchup for this game is going to be Utah's D-line versus the Cowboys O-line. Crazy stat coming into this game, but the Oklahoma State Cowboys haven't allowed a sack this season. In 3 games, they are led by that veteran offensive line. So in my opinion, that's definitely the key matchup, is Utah creating problems for them. It's going to be tough. They look good as a unit. So, but if given time, I think Alan Bowman could pick apart this Utah defense. He's done it all year. Like you said, this guy has 967 yards, 8 touchdowns, only 2 picks. He's looked great. He's had a great passer rating in pretty much every game. So the Utes, they're going to need to find a way to put pressure on him, make him maybe force some throws, get the ball out quicker than he's had all season with no sacks, rarely any pressures. But Utah does have 10 sacks coming in this game, so that's good. They're led by senior defensive end Van Fillinger, where he has 3.5 on his own. So yeah, I think in broad aspect, I think it's going to be whoever wins this trenches battle and then the turnover battle. Both teams coming into this game with 4 turnovers each. So I feel like whoever wins the line of scrimmage and whoever maybe comes out with more turnovers is probably going to end up winning this game. But overall, I think this is a great game. It's going to be a shootout, a lot of offense, a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah,
so
it could be a banger.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Total's pretty low, actually. 52, I believe, is the total, which is pretty low for the offenses.
Yeah, I think the Big 12, I think Big 12 matchup, I think they're just going to come out and slang that thing. So
yeah,
let's
gamble. Let's gamble.
Let's talk about spending money on.
Let's win money.
Let's win money.
Let's get into my best bets. Don't have a ton on the NFL this week. Kind of a weird week in the NFL. But I do have some college props or college picks to start off with. Syracuse -9 against Stanford at home. The boys in orange have been good to me this season. Kyle McCord is going to get the boys right against Stanford at home. Give me Syracuse big. Give me the Syracuse -9. And then give me the West Virginia Mountaineers money line at home. Kansas absolutely stinks at football. They are a basketball school. They go into West Virginia. Give me West Virginia on the money line. And then Michigan +6 at home is a disrespectful line like we just did. We picked Michigan outright. Give me Michigan and the 6 points against USC. Like, what?
Yeah,
what is that line?
6 in the big house is crazy.
I know Michigan just got handled by Texas, but Texas is the #1 team in the country. And
USC is not Texas.
USC is not Texas. Michigan's defense is going to show up. They're going to cover 6 points. They're going to win outright. And then give me Miami, the Hurricanes, minus 16.5 against South Florida. Miami's offense is too good for this line. They're going to score 50-plus points in this game. And USF, I don't think they hit the 30 mark against the Miami defense. Give me Miami minus 16.5.
We might score 50 by halftime, the way that Cam Ward's playing.
Say less. Say less. Moving to the NFL, have some props. Lamar Jackson over 48.5 rushing yards. I think that line's too low. Season on the line. He's going to do what he needs to do to get a win. Lamar over 48.5 rushing yards. And then Brandon Ayuk over 55.5 receiving yards. Debo has been getting a lot of the volume through the air. Ayuk has been kind of quiet. Debo is out. No brainer. Ayuk, excuse me. Ayuk over 55.5 receiving yards. And then I only have one pick on the spread this week. Give me Green Bay +3 in Tennessee. Field goal dogs. I think they win that game outright.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm gambling on.
Those are all hitting. So
they are.
All hitting. They all hit. So yeah. You want to wrap this?
That's the episode. We get all I want is a Ravens win, and I'll be happy. I don't care about anything else but a Ravens win this week.
Yeah, we got some must wins in the NFL. A lot of 0-2 teams that really weren't expecting to be 0-2. So big games there. We got our college slate, our matchups this week, our matchup of the week. We got some good football. Football's great. We love football around here. And
win!
If the Ravens don't win, don't be shocked if it's just me next Tuesday, because he might run away. I don't know. He might be on crazy watch.
Yeah.
He might be on lose his mind watch for next week if the Ravens don't pull this one out against Dallas. So we'll see. But overall, a good episode. Looking forward to this week. Any final thoughts, Jason, besides the Ravens?
If you've made it to this point, just make sure you just like and subscribe to the video. We put in a lot of work each week.
We really do.
If you really enjoy the episode, please subscribe, like, comment.
Share it with your friends.
Share it. Comment if there's any suggestions you have, anything you want to see, put in the comments. We'll definitely just throw it in the episode. If you want to see it, we will deliver.
We will. Also, if you're betting, if you're following his bets, use code WOOD on Underdog Fantasy. Yeah. $1,000 deposit match from the boys over there. So, yeah. This was episode, what are we on, 8? Crazy. It's already 8. We're already moving into the quarter way of the seasons pretty much. But that's it for this week. We love you guys. We'll be back. We're idiots. We don't know what we're talking about, but we still are going to talk about it. So we'll see you guys next Tuesday. We're going to recap all of the stuff this weekend. We got football Thursday. We got football Friday. We got football Saturday. We got football Sunday and then Monday. And then we'll see y'all in the next episode. We love you. Thanks for watching. Peace.